Hi, folks. It is I, Mr. Koch. It's a Tuesday, the 14th of September. Time just keeps on going on, doesn't it? Time keeps on slipping into September. Time keeps on slipping into September, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean that. I'm going to share this over here to a group. I got a little group called the Gristle Kingdom, diddle diddle doo diddle diddle doo. Got a little group called the Gristle Kingdom, diddle diddle doo diddle doo diddle doo. I was going to share it over to the Koch Marshall Trio page. I did it. Oh, I did it. Greetings, Roger. Roger's the first one on the scene. Greetings to you, my good man. Today I thought it would be fun to kind of play a couple of these other signature models from our friends at Reverend. And I put a link above to, not these exact guitars, because this is actually my instrument. This is a Rick Vito model in this gray perloid, which I find quite fetching. At Wildwood right now, they have actually a chronic blue and an orchid pink, which are very cool as well. So I put a link to those. These are no longer available. And I find this guitar to be quite satisfying. I haven't seen it for a while. And Rick Vito actually reached out to me. He's like, hey, a friend of mine wants one of those guitars, and they're not available anymore. They are available in the other colors that I just mentioned, but this one is no longer available. And I was half thinking about getting rid of it, and now I just played it, and there's no way I'm going to get rid of it. There's no way I'm going to get rid of it. It feels so doggone good. As you can see, it's Boss Daddy. See all the cool appointments to these rascals? Look at the binding. Uh-huh. Of course, it's got the ebony fingerboard. It's got the Elnico 5 humbuckers, which sounds great. Bigsby on it. And like all Reverend guitars, it's got the treble bleed modification on the volume so you don't lose highs when you turn it down. Sounds good. Oh, what do I got here? Sometimes a cord gets right into the little crack, wait a minute, of the pedal on the floor. And then I try to switch the camera views. I'm like, cord, of all the places you could have gone, why in the little crack? Cord, of all the places you could have gone, why in the little crack? Why in the little crack? I have frozen. What are you talking about, I have frozen? I got to tell you, Coke Zero, I'm not paid to say it, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's a delicious beverage. Coke Zero fills me with pride. Coke Zero makes me feel all good inside. Highway I-1. We just heard that bridge pickup on this ride. This just sounds so good. I did put a phase switch on here just because I wanted one, but that doesn't come stock. But in the middle position, I put a little phaser on, an on a phase switch. Timothy Steiger asked, Greg, do you practice before these shows or you just come out and play what you feel? I pretty much just start playing whatever I feel in the moment. Sometimes the guitar will dictate what direction I'll go into. But usually I just I get a sound going and I go, I just kind of take it from there. I start feeling it. this is a chambered Carina body on these rascals, an ebony fingerboard, and these Alnico 5 Reverend pickups on here sound pretty doggone good. How was the ZZ Top gig? It was great. I did not mingle with anybody in the top. There was no mingling. I did reach out to Van Wilkes beforehand to put a good word in for me so that maybe I'd have some time. But, you know, with the COVID and, of course, their recent tragedies and so on and so forth. Plus, I think when they're on the road, they're pretty much sequestered and in their own little world, which I can dig. So we did not interact with the top. However, we did open up for them, and their crowd was quite appreciative of our activities. Can you dig it? Thank you very much, Jeff Brown. I appreciate that. Oh, the big hollow body. That I have that big. I have the Pete Anderson hollow body, the PA1. That's downstairs. I was thinking about bringing that up, but I grabbed this rascal. This is an outstanding sounding instrument. I dig it. It's a little. How did Norm Macdonald die? What? Don't tell me this stuff while we're on air. That's too bad. He was a funny man. Funny man indeed. Can you dig it? I'll tell you what. This guitar is hitting the doggone spot. Tell you what, it sounds doggone glorious. This again, folks, is a Rick Vito model Soul Shaker from Reverend, and there are two at Wildwood right now. Not in this particular tone hue. This has been discontinued. This is gray perloid, which is beautiful, but there is a magnificent orchid pink one and also a chronic blue version that is there. I put a link to one of them up above. With pearl and hot pickups. Yeah, well, Rick Vito is one of my favorite slide players of all time. So this is definitely a guitar that is conducive to slide activities. Yes. Mm-hmm. Rick Vito, among other things, played the slide solo on Like a Rock from Bob Seger. But his own records are fantastic. His latest record, Soul Shaker, is magnificent. He does a version of that, what is that song? We did a version of it. I was born by a river in a little town, like a river, been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming. Yeah, that one. He does a version of that that's magnificent. It is an epic slide solo. I remember the first time I heard that slide solo on that Bob Seger song. That slide solo came in and I thought, mother of God, who is that playing that slide? And I always thought, that live record from Bob Seger would always be on the radio when we were youngins. And I thought, is that guy? Is that guy, the Strat guy that plays all that? He played cool Strat parts and solos and stuff on that live stuff. I thought, is that the dude? And then I thought, no, that's got to be a ringer. And sure enough, I found out it was Rick Vito. Sam Cook, thank you very much. Change is going to come. Thank you, folks. Sometimes I need some Prevagen. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. I appreciate Johnny Hyland is a good man and a ferocious guitar player. I got to have him on the doggone podcast. I got to start. I got to start recording some new ones, and Johnny's definitely going to be on there. Doggone it. Yes, Rick Vito is a champion. We've done some shows with him with the trio, and we're going to do it again. Pre-Cove, we were doing some shows where Rick would come out and do a set with my son on drums and Toby Lee Marshall on the organ, and who plays bass with his left hand. And then I would come up and do a set, and we'd do a set together at the end. It was magnificent. I thought it was a great evening of music, and we will do it again. This guitar is magnificent. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to show a few different guitars. DOD 250 or Tube Screamer? Levi, that's a good question. I haven't messed with the DOD 250 in a long time. If ever, I think. There's so many good overdrive pedals. I mean, I've been using my Gristle King pedal for years on end. If I do use a pedal, since I got this amp, 99% of the time I'm using just the amp for overdrive. Tube Screamers are great. The Jetter pedals I've used a bunch. My Gristle King, the BB preamp by Exotic Effects. I use that a bunch. That's a great sounding pedal. I've used Tube Screamers for years. I used a Maxon Tube Screamer for years, the 808 version. I used a Full Tone Full Drive 2 years ago before they were even packaged. They just had there was just the gray box with the lettering that was taped on there. Used that for a while. Any number of different things get it done. My Gristle King, I like it because it's a clean boost. Excuse me, I'm getting a little burpy from my Coke. I mean my Coke Zero. Don't get any ideas. Anyway, So there's a bunch of different things you could use. Overdrive is a magnificent pedal. I've played one of those. Those are great. The Little Gristle is a fantastic little pedal. The Little Heat, you mean? The Little Heat. Norm MacDonald. That is sad. Doggone it. I don't like to hear that. Yeah, you know, what's interesting about the Overdrive, folks, is that when I've done a few things with Robin Ford in the last month here, I sat in with him out at a blues festival here, and then we were at that guitar festival down in that Andy Wood put together down at the Woodshed Guitar Experience in Tennessee. And also, just FYI, Robin and I are talking about doing a few different things. Maybe in October, I'd come down to Nashville and do a show with him if all goes well. Anyway, he uses that Dumble Clean, folks, and then he uses an Overdrive pedal on top of it, and he's got that Overdrive on there, so it's good, clean fun. Yes, Levi, I sell them actually through my website. There's another great pedal that's made by Jetter and Wildwood. It's a Wildwood exclusive, and that's the ODS 181. This is a great little pedal. I don't have it plugged in right now, but it's a meaty sounding Overdrive. The wood shred, exactly. Dear Greg, is the small Koch amp also the same type of Overdrive? That's a good question. Well, there's going to be, I just was texting with my buddy Chris from Koch Amps over there in the Netherlands, and they're just waiting on transformers for the new amps to be shipped over, FYI. So there's actually going to be a few different iterations. So there is the Greg amp, which is this amp right here, which is what I've been using in all the Wildwood videos for a couple years now. And it's clean channel, Overdrive, harmonic vibrato on board. There's stuff on the upper panel as well, and there's an OTS over here, which is a half-watt power amp tube I can add to either channel, which sounds great. There's a harmonic vibrato, as I said. There's a 3-control reverb for delicious reverby, glorious sounds. Anyway, so the Overdrive on this is going to be the same Overdrive, obviously, on the head version of the Greg, and then there's also going to be one called the Greg Jr. It will be the same Overdrive on that amp as well. It'll be a 2-channel amp. The Overdrive will be the same, but the OTS will not be on there, nor will the harmonic vibrato. So it'll be about $1,000 less, from what I understand. And then there's the Little Gristle, which is that tweed amp back there, and that's just the sound of a power amp tube just cranked. It sounds all fat and juicy. So it's a little different. But anyway, so there you go. Someone asked about the Overdrive sound. Hi, Master. Any tips on substitutions? I just know the tritone one or major amount. Love you. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Matthew Weber. I'll get to maybe some substitution stuff in a minute here. Asked about the finish on this bad boy. Yeah, this is the Reverend Soul Shaker Rick Vito signature model. They came out with like a white perloid and then this gray perloid, and I really like the gray because it looks like you're staring into the afterlife. Am I right? But they discontinued making these, but they still have this model, which is a great sounding guitar, and I love the binding. I don't know if you can see that on there. See that cool binding? So they've made them now with solid colors, and I did a link up above to at Wildwood Guitars that has a orchid pink one, and then there's a chronic blue one, which is kind of like the sonic blue, kind of like the amp over here. Ebony fingerboard, Alnico 5 humbuckers, volume and tone, Bigsby that works, pin lock tuners. It's a great sounding amp. great sounding little guitar. Just a great sounding little guitar. Well, it's certainly a lot less expensive than a lot of Les Pauls. These guitars go for, I think, 14, 13, something like that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right in that neck of the woods. But just a magnificent guitar. This one, less than 8 pounds. It is a chambered Carina body, Carina neck. Fingerboard is ebony. And it's Magnifico. As you can see, it's got that nice headstock there. It looks cool. It's cool. Matching headstock. I dig it. But as I said, there is a pink one and a chronic blue one, which is more like a sonic blue, available at Wildwood as we speak. The pickups sound great. I mean, Reverend's pickups are Magnifico. There's just no doubt about it. I mean, it is Kossoff's birthday, isn't it? Bless his heart. Yeah, the ebony is a little shiny. Kossoff's birthday. Norm MacDonald, that is so sad. Oh, you know what? What are you going to do? You got to keep on keeping on. You got to keep on keeping on. I like it. So there you go. This is Rick Vito Soul Shaker model from Reverend. And again, I have a link up above to the Wildwood site. The other guitar I wanted to bring out, because we haven't seen it in a while, and I did a link up above to a black one that is available at Wildwood, is this guitar right here. This guitar was actually a motivator For me doing the Gristle 90, I love the Bigsby on this. I love the out of phase sound on this. I like the look of it. This is the Reeves Gabrel's signature guitar from Reverend called the Spacehawk. Caw-caw! Caw-caw, Spacehawk! Caw-caw! Swooping down on meteors, grabbing it with its razor-sharp talons, breaking it into bits before it crashes into the earth, destroying humanity. Thank you, Spacehawk. Anyway, it's got Railhammer pickups. These are the signature Railhammer Reeves Gabrel's pickups. They sound magnificent. These two little this is actually a kill switch. You can go, This is a regular three-way toggle. It's got the bass contour control, tone control, volume. And it has a push-pull pot here to get the out-of-phase sound. Let's hear this, Rascal. A lot of tone in this bad boy. A lot of tones. You don't lose any highs when you turn down the volume because it's got that treble bleed. this is the Reeves Gabrel Spacehawk. This one is an alpine or metallic alpine. This is a color I dig it. As you can see, I'm grabbing the wiggle bar and it's staying in tune pretty doggone well. So, interesting thing about these Railhammers. Ken does a great job of describing what these do, but you know, blade pickups have a tendency to really help the turgidity of the low end, keeping it tight when you're doing it like kind of metally, kind of. But the only problem with those kind of pickups is that on the high end, it gets a little bit of razor blades and hand grenades. So they decided to do these Railhammers so that they have the blades on the bottom to keep things nice and tight and articulate. And then on the top, to keep it a little bit more mellow of an attack, they've got the bigger pull pieces, and it sounds doggone good. Can you dig it? And there is also, of course, this has the bass contour switch, which is fantastic. So this is full humbucker. This is just removing some mid-range frequency to get the... All right, now if I go in the middle position and pop up this tone control, I get this really cool out-of-phase sound. Dial it in a little bit more with the bass contour. Of course, that out-of-phase sound sounds good with a lot of heat on it as well. Probably should have listened to more Queen when I was a kid. That's a great out-of-phase sound. sounds doggone good. A lot of versatility. Yeah. Can you dig it? Ba-diddle-diddle-diddle-doo. Yes, this is the Reeves Gabrel's Spacehawk guitar. This one is an alpine or metallic alpine. There's actually a black one at Wildwood as we speak, so I put a little link up above to that particular guitar. You know what's a lot of fun about the Reverend guitar that I find fun? Is that you mess around with this guitar, they're all tricked out with this cool stuff ergonomically. You know, it's already got the treble bleed thing on there. You got the locking tuners, the Bigsby that works, the out of phase thing, the kill switch, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a cool little tricked out guitar. And it's under $2,000. I think it's just a hair over $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. Can it brew sweet tea? Of course it can. Oh! Can you dig it? I do love the out of phase thing. It is a polarizing sound, though. There are those that just, but as I said, on this particular guitar and on my Gristle 90, because of the way I have it voiced, it's a little more usable. And with this, you've got the bass contour to really kind of dial it in for an extra sweet and sassy sound. Oh. Someone asked if I could play just one guitar for the rest of my life, what it would be. It would probably be an iteration of a Telecaster, like my Gristle Master or something. Because I love all guitars, and I have my little, I'm not going to say tricks. I have my arsenal of things that I do, and I'll play to the different guitars depending on their features and sounds. But I like about the Telecaster format is that it allows for maximum expression and with just a very simple template. And you can get a lot of damage done. Plus, as I've said before, and it have been quoted, at the end of time, in a post-apocalyptic world hellscape, there will be cockroaches and there will be Telecasters, and the Telecasters will be in tune. Can you dig it? Will Chewing the Gristle return? Yes, it will. I was just taking a little break. I'll probably start doing some more probably start scheduling some more next week or so. Start doing some. Can you dig it? Telecaster is also a fine weapon. It's a fine security force when you're on stage, as evidenced by Keith Richards when he was on stage. And somebody came on, this is back on the 81 tour, and he took off that 72 black Tele Deluxe that he had and went, "Skewiddle," and tried to, shall we say, immobilize a stage grifter. And to varying degrees of success. What are you going to do? That's all I like to hear. The out of phase sound is cool, and the out of phase sound is also cool on the Gristle 90. I love mine. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're digging it out. Do I ever feel burned out on playing guitar? You know, I never really do. I enjoy every day playing. And when I have a moment free where it's like, what's going on? Oh, let's see, everyone's out of the house and doing whatever. I'll just pick up a guitar and start noodling, start coming up with something. And never gets boring. Just love the sound, the smell. The smell. Wait a minute. Just never gets boring for me. I just enjoy the hell out of it. And there's always something new to learn. Always, vibratos and tones and little touch things that will come to me. They'll be like, "Ooh, I got to work on that a little bit. Oh, I like that. It feels right." And it's just fun to sit down and improvise and come up with some chord changes and just improvise over it. Can you dig it? Can you dig the kind of language I'm speaking? Can you dig it? Yes. I gotta love the smell of string mung. Yes, well, it depends how much you perspire with your fingers. Some people really have pronounced string mung and will cake their strings after a single gig with the most unsavory brine and gruel that you could boil and serve up to youngins as a savory protein supplement. That sounds gross, but it's truth, okay? I'm speaking truth to strings. Speaking truth, strings. Mm-hmm. Time is always right for Kringle. That's right, Danny. You got it. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Here's the regular middle position. Da-da. Nope. sometimes I fish about. Sometimes I fish about. Can you show the rhythm of Folsom Prison Blues? I love how you play it with your hybrid picking. So great. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I do that little, like this, yeah. Right? Can you dig it? It is kind of a Swiss Army knife of guitar. It does a lot of different things very, very well. I think it looks cool. It kind of looks like an old Burns guitar from back in the day. But some people, it's a... I don't know, everyone's got their tastes. A lot of people can't get past the orthodoxy of the iconic guitars, and so they find everything that's a diversion from that to be troubling. And that's their opinion. They can do, other people are searching for something a little diffy. A little diffy. And this sates and slakes that thirst. Slake the thirst. Mm-hmm. Shake and bake. Can you dig it? Every Monday and Friday, I jam with young Dylan here in the Orange Room. Mondays and Fridays. And then we do, we used to do the live streams with Toby every other week, but we've changed that around a little bit. Well, as the fall approaches, we may return to something like that, so we shall see. Love the Souls. I see you, Johnny. I see you, Johnny Cola. Sometimes you're out of control, and I dig it. And I dig it. How about a Gibson Explorer? Yes, they are a devastating instrument. I do like Explorers. They got those new ones out now with the Carina Explorers and the Carina Flying Vs, and they're like, what, $10,000? Woo! So people got that kind of bread. They say to themselves, I need me an Explorer. I need me a Flying V. Do you take MasterCharge? MasterCharge isn't even a thing anymore. It's MasterCard. That's how on top of it I am. Are you also in steel guitar stuff? Yeah, I do some steel guitar stuff. Can you dig it? All right, folks, listen, thanks so much for tuning in today. We had some fun with a Reverend Soul Shaker, the Rick Vito signature model. There is a link up above to an orchid pink one, but there's also a blue one there as well. And then this is the Reeves Gabrel signature Reverend Spacehawk, not only a glorious guitar, but also an intergalactic bird of prey, which will pounce upon your spacecraft, peck you out in space. No one will hear you scream as you're disemboweled and devoured on the dark side of the moon. Wow, that's an image. What an inviting way to get yourself involved with the Spacehawk. Anyway, there's a delicious black version of the Spacehawk. This is actually a metallic alpine version. This is my very own guitar. Yes, he did. Albert Collins did sing that. Master Charge, I Bank America. Yes. I'm on that craft now. Beware. Look out. Oh, man. All right, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. We'll see you back here on Thursday. We'll see what other guitars will be unfolding at that particular point in time. All right. We'll see you cats in the flippity flop.